blaming President Donald Trump and a Georgia law protecting most babies from abortion for the deaths of 2 women in 2022. Both women took chemical abortion pills and both had complications afterward because the abortions were incomplete, leaving part of their babies in their wombs and leading to deadly infections. The family of Candy Miller, a 41-year-old mother of 3, told the news outlet ProPublica that she was too afraid of Georgia's heartbeat law to seek medical attention. That law allows abortion only before a fetal heartbeat is detected, but it has exceptions for situations in which a mother's life is in jeopardy. And while doctors can be prosecuted for performing abortions illegally, mothers are never prosecuted. So Ms. Miller's fears were unfounded, and her family watched her suffer for days for no reason. Chemical abortion killed Candy Miller. The second woman, Amber Thurman, a 28-year-old mother of a 1-year-old boy, was too late for an abortion in Georgia, so she drove with a friend to North Carolina, where she hoped to have a surgical abortion to end the lives of her twins. But she arrived late, and the abortion seller said they could not fit her into the busy killing schedule, so they offered her chemical abortion pills. Back home in Georgia, after taking the second drug, she began to experience serious complications and sought treatment at an Atlanta area hospital. Doctors there monitored her situation and gave her antibiotics, but waited about 20 hours to begin a D&C to remove the remains of her twins from her womb. Why they waited so long, too long to save her, is a question doctors will have to answer. But it wasn't Donald Trump or Georgia's heartbeat law that killed her. Chemical abortion killed Amber Thurman. Harris was in Atlanta today to exploit the tragedy of these women's deaths for political gain in an important battleground state. State officials in North Dakota have asked a judge to stay his ruling that a law protecting most babies from abortion is unconstitutional until the state Supreme Court can hear an appeal. Since April 2023, abortion has only been allowed in the state if a mother's life or health is at risk and for pregnancies conceived in rape and incest. Since Judge Bruce Romanik's ruling last week, the procedure is once again legal technically, but the state's only abortion business moved across the border to Minnesota in 2022 following the overturning of Roe v. Wade. A pre-Roe law protecting most babies from abortion in Arizona caused much wailing and gnashing of teeth when upheld by the state Supreme Court earlier this year. The legislature quickly passed a law repealing that law, and this week it was officially taken off the books. Arizona again allows abortion to 15 weeks, requires mothers to have an ultrasound at least 24 hours before the procedure and to be given the opportunity to view it. Minors must have either parental consent or authorization from a state judge, except in cases of incest or when their life is at risk. Abortion medication can only be provided through a qualified physician, and only licensed physicians can perform surgical abortions. Abortion sellers also must record and report certain information about the abortions they perform to the Department of Health Services. All of that could change if voters approve the pro-abortion Proposition 139, which would invent a right to abortion in the Arizona Constitution. Nuns were back in the news this week as part of a diverse coalition of religious groups asking the U.S. Supreme Court to block a New York State mandate that forces them to cover abortion in their health insurance plans. Justices will decide whether to hear the case after the new term opens next month. That's what's making news this week. Please join Priests for Life National Director Frank Pavone on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on endabortion.tv as he leads a national prayer broadcast focused on defeating proposed amendments that would impose a right to abortion in 10 states. And please always remember, life is the only choice.